So, today we'll be talking about the greatest footballing team in the world right now, Real Madrid. Psych, I lied. As you know, it's PSG. Um, PSG, they're the team. If you've come across this video, you're probably a fan of football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. But PSG is the current European champions. They won the Champions League. I wouldn't say it wasn't just like a tough there's like multiple best teams in the world right now. It wasn't an underdog story. Okay, head and shoulders. This team is head and shoulders above every team right now on the planet, and you can see that based on their performances in the Club World Cup in the U.S. This summer already. Right in the final, they beat Inter Milan. Inter Milan, in my opinion, I really enjoyed watching that team. However, I feel like they played a great semifinal against Barcelona. I just don't think they should have been the ones to make it through. I think as a neutral, it would have been a lot more exciting to see PSG versus Barcelona, considering they have Lamine Yamal. They have a couple other players, a couple of exciting players. Rafinha is having the best season of his life. So a lot of good players. I think a game like that against Dembele, Vitinha, Pedri versus Vitinha, that would have been an insane Champions League final. For us to see. That's probably what's going to be next year, honestly. But I digress. Regardless, they beat Inter Milan 5-0 in a Champions League final. And it was insane. Luis Enrique, who is their current manager, he's got them playing some sort of football that's almost revolutionary in a sense. You can talk about Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, Pep Guardiola's City. You can talk about Luis Enrique's Barcelona back in 2015, 2016, and then 14 and then 15. Those are teams that they when they play, it's just a joy to watch. And he's done something similar with this PSG team. The PSG team that's been struggling, trying to win the Champions League for years, literally. Relatively new team, just so you know, but they're the best team in France. They've been trying to win the Champions League for years, haven't been able to do it. They bought Mbappe, Messi, they had Neymar, they still couldn't do it. And they brought in Luis Enrique with Dembele. Obviously, we know Dembele, he moved from Barcelona. I've always followed him since his time in Dortmund. He's a fantastic player. Um, and this season he's just rose into a different height, a different level. And he's also currently, for me, I think he should win it. I think especially my generation has been spoiled with. My generation has been spoiled with the Ballon d'Or and what it takes to win it, what you have to do, watching Messi and Ronaldo do it for the past 10, 15 years. It's, I personally, for me, I feel like no player really now honestly deserves it. But if we're looking realistically, I think Dembele should be the one to take it just because of everything he's won with that team. But regardless, Luis Enrique has shaped up this PSG team to be an insane footballing team that has everything. Okay, they have physicality, there's technical ability all over the pitch. They can score goals, they can press, they can defend. They have an amazing goalkeeper. And there's flair. They're exciting to watch. It's not robotic. They're super dynamic. They have elements of total football in it, where you have players just kind of playing anywhere. You have fullbacks that act like wingers. Honestly, the PSG are the complete team right now. Um, and it was clear to see when they're in the Club World Cup this summer. In my opinion, they were going to win it. Now they're in the finals to play against Chelsea tomorrow, I think. So that'll be the 13th of July. They play against Chelsea tomorrow. Chelsea's had probably one of the easiest runs in the tournament. And let's see if we can pull this up here real quick. Not the semifinal. Let's do like knockout stages. So if you look here, we have Chelsea. Okay, they played Benfica 4-1. Benfica, I feel like the Portuguese teams, they haven't really helped the arguments against their league. People kind of say the Portuguese league isn't a good league. Like that's why a lot of people don't want to go in for Gyökeres. And they haven't really performed in this tournament, so that they're not really helping their case, right? They've played Benfica, they've played Palmeiras, they've played Fiorentina. Fiorentina is actually Fluminense, Fluminense. They played Fluminense, which I think they're actually a decent team. I think they beat Al Hilal to get into the semifinals. But clearly they haven't had like the toughest run, and honestly, I feel bad for Chelsea. I feel bad for what PSG is going to do to Chelsea tomorrow. I'm saying it now. I'm calling it like everyone else on this planet is calling it. No, so I think they shouldn't underestimate Chelsea. I think Chelsea is a good team. They when they buy players, it seems like they're buying the players based on high volume. No one who's super famous, no stars, just like a lot of players on long contracts. If it doesn't work, they don't care. They're just willing to chuck them out. I think they have a good team. And obviously you have Enzo. What's his name? What's the manager's name? Chelsea's manager. What's his name? What's Chelsea's manager's name? Enzo. I know his name. Why am I blanking on his name? Where can I find this? I promise I'm not new to football. I'm just Enzo. Whatever. I can't find his name for some reason, but okay, let me just look it up. Enzo Maresca. Yes, Enzo Maresca. I don't know how I messed that up, but Enzo Maresca. He's a great coach, in my opinion. I think he's a good coach, not a great coach. I don't think he's fully proven yet, but I think last season he coached a not very good Chelsea team into a position that I thought that they finished better than they actually are. So, in my opinion, he's a good coach. But tomorrow, there's nothing stopping him from the wrath of what's going to happen to him, what PSG are going to do to him. What PSG are going to do to him and his team cannot be understated. They will destroy Chelsea. I don't think it'll be as bad as Real Madrid. So if we look at here, if you look at the game against Real Madrid, so Real Madrid is just they're a team that's so there's not much chemistry in the team, and I think I'll make another video based on Real Madrid talking about this, but they're not. I think Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vini clearly can't play together. They have a new number 9 coming up, which I forgot his name, and I probably should know his name, but it's not Adeguler. It's can I see their bench? Last season starting 11. Oh well, whatever. They have a new number 9 coming up, and so no one's really gonna know like where he's gonna play and if he's gonna get any time on the pitch because they have so many stars up front. But regardless, they played so bad against PSG. So PSG beat Real Madrid 4-0. I don't think it should have been that bad because if it wasn't for the mistakes of Rudiger, if it wasn't for the mistakes of Asensio, they probably wouldn't have lost that bad. But they just don't have the chem. So they have Bellingham, they have Chouameni. Adeguler is a good young player coming up, probably the best young player, one of the best at least, coming up this year and last year and the year before that. Valverde, he's exceptional. He had to play the right wing, the right fullback, just because they lost a player due to a red card. So they weren't at their best. I feel like they could have been a little bit better because if you bring Valverde up front, you get a bit more control, a bit more attacking threat moving forward. But looking at having Mbappe there, Mbappe, he didn't do too much. Or Garcia, that's his name, the up and coming youngster for them. He had a good game. He's played overall a great tournament. I'll make a whole different video on this soon, but right now Real Madrid just they have good players. They just don't know how to synchronize them and make them into one cohesive team. That if and looking at PSG, right? There's no ego. There's just great players with great flair and that want to work for the team, right? You don't get that with Real Madrid, right? You expect the forwards at Real Madrid just want the players to work for them, pass them the ball, and then they go ahead and just have a galore of chances, and hopefully one goes in. They feel like they've made it at Real Madrid when I think obviously you never really make it. You just have to keep working hard. I digress regardless. But yeah, PSG ended up whooping Real Madrid 4-0. And it wasn't. I don't know why it just doesn't just go back. Like it should just go back. But and it wasn't even close. I mean, PSG had almost 70% of possession. Where in the world is that heard of? Against Real Madrid, you have 70% of possession. Apart from Barca during the prime, Pep Guardiola days, that doesn't really happen. And that just goes to show how good this PSG team is. But I'll just end it there. PSG are a great team. Watch out for tomorrow. Let's see if they end up winning, which they probably will against Chelsea. I feel bad for Chelsea. I'll be tuning in. I'll be watching it. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to watch the game as well. And let me know if you want me to talk about that game afterwards as well. But um, yeah, good luck to Chelsea. Good luck to PSG. I think it'll be an exciting game nonetheless, but I definitely got PSG to win for sure. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye.